usual, thousands of students inside as the number 22 ranked team in the country, the St. Mary's Gales, on the road to take on the Cougars of BYU. And we expect a really good game here tonight. Welcome, everybody. Dave Fleming, Sean Farnham. Great to have you with us. Before we get started, there is some news, Sean. 3 players for BYU. Violation of team rules are out tonight, including a starter, Jackson Robinson. It's going to impact the Cougars tonight.
Yeah, you're talking about 3 of their top 7 players. And you're talking Noah Waterman, Atiki Aliatiki. And that's going to shift more onto guys like Richie Saunders, who's getting the start tonight, or Trey Stewart, who's been really limited in time, and even Traden Christensen, who's only played 3 games and under 11 minutes on the season. He's likely to have to play more than 11 minutes tonight, and you're going against a team that can really rebound the ball and get after you defensively.
Yeah, there's Traden Christensen. And again, he's played 10 total minutes this season, and Mark Pope told us he's going to have to be an important part of what we do in this game with those 3 key players out. The challenge is immense anyway, because St. Mary's right now is one of the hottest teams in college basketball.
Well, they just go out and they win games and they show up, and the one thing that Randy Bennett told us is that they compete. Every game he knows that he can count on his guys showing up to compete, and they've answered that call throughout the course of the season so far.
So here we go from BYU. The Cougars, who've lost 2 in a row. They've lost 4 of 6 in the month of January. BYU, bad time to be missing players and playing a red-hot team, but they need a win.
They just got to get off the mat. Taking a loss, that's one thing, but how do you get up off the mat and how do you respond when you're shorthanded?
So the Gales on defense. BYU wins the opening tip. Cougars have the ball first. And they get a touch down low for Fus Traore, who makes his move against Mitchell Saxon. Saxon played good defense there, the shot in and out.
His length, I think, could really bother Traore. And they need him to have a big game. And Mark Pope made no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They've got to get multiple defensive players for St. Mary's to go to number 45 in white.
Hayden Mahaney's got the ball, one of the top freshmen in all of college basketball, going baseline, got the shot off but missed it. And it's out of bounds off St. Mary's. At one point Mark Pope made to us is his team has been, for the most part, a solid defensive team. He thinks they can match St. Mary's on the defensive end. The Gales are so efficient offensively as well. Traore almost fell down, kept his balance, had the ball poked away, but that's a foul.
Well, I mean, the crazy part, okay, there's a foul there. But he stood in the key for about 10 seconds and had the ball in his hands. And there is a rule in the rule book that would indicate that you can't literally post up in the center of the paint and stay in there for that long.
Did not call the 3-second violation, though, the foul against the Gales. So 20 on the shot clock, BYU ball. Spencer Johnson. Tough turnaround shot, no good. Rebound for St. Mary's. Logan Johnson, the senior. A very experienced Gales team. You got the talented freshman, but also tons of game experience. Alex Dukas, quick release 3, perfect. And we welcome those of you joining us. Oklahoma State with a win. We're here in Provo, Utah for a West Coast Conference matchup. Number 22 St. Mary's on the road against BYU. Richie Saunders starting. It's only his 2nd career start. Traore with the offensive rebound and the first 2 points for BYU, a Cougars team against a red-hot St. Mary's team playing shorthanded tonight.
Yeah, we'll get into that in just a second. But Fus Traore, they've gone to him every single possession. Clearly, BYU's focused on trying to get inside the teeth of the defense.
Nobody boxed out Kyle Bowen. He was right there wide open and missed the layup. So that's a rare miss on that kind of shot for Kyle Bowen, who's having a great year. Gales have not won here in a long time. They've lost 4 years in a row coming to Provo. But this is one of the best St. Mary's teams. Randy Bennett's had a lot of good ones. This is one of the best ones he's ever had. Another shot for Traore. Missed that one. Second chance for BYU. Johnson hits the 3.
You lunge, you reach, you get out of position. Logan Johnson's usually really good at and understanding does he have the ability to get there and get the steal. He missed, and that created the space.
That's a couple offensive rebounds early for BYU. It doesn't happen much against St. Mary's. Johnson down the lane, kind of out of control, just flung it out of bounds. But it is the big story coming in, not just how well St. Mary's is playing. BYU's been struggling, and Mark Pope's team having to play without 3 key players. If you missed our open because you were sticking with Oklahoma State, Jackson Robinson, a starter, Noah Waterman, Atiki Aliatiki, a 1-game suspension for all 3 of them, violation of team rules.
Those are 3 of the top 7 players on this team. And also now you're going to look at guys like Traden Christensen, who's played less than 11 minutes on the season. He's probably going to have to play more than that tonight.
Wow, they are really force-feeding Traore down low. It's been a good strategy so far.
Well, Traore he's an angle scorer. He uses his upper body strength to create space by dipping his shoulder into the much bigger, taller Saxon.
He's not a great shot blocker, and Logan Johnson went right at him on that end.
Now, Logan Johnson has played so well as of late for St. Mary's. He's had a great career, but maybe playing the best basketball he's ever played.
Traore goes to the bucket, had his shot blocked, but Gideon George hustling after the loose ball, comes up with it in the corner.
Right now, the 50-50 balls have been BYU's favorite.
They really have been. Kyle Bowen, who Mark Pope called the best defensive player in our league, played good defense there and grabbed the rebound. Dukas, long 3. That one's good. He's 2 for 2. He's been the top 3-point shooter in the conference so far.
He is feeling it. Got a little bounce in the spring as he went back the other end, and quick release on his shot. 2 times he caught the ball. He's felt confident from that spot to knock it down.
Those 3s are from way outside. The freshman Dallin Hall comes up short. Rebound for the big man Mitchell Saxon. Aiden Mahaney with the ball. Bowen hits Dukas, beautiful cutting offense to the basket.
I mean, that is just beautiful offense. Zipper cut right off the screen at the top, and defense gets caught and trails from behind.
So a 7-0 run for St. Mary's. Spencer Johnson, a lot of pressure on him to have a big offensive game. Had the ball knocked away and went off of Johnson out of bounds. That's going to be St. Mary's ball, but we'll first have a timeout in Provo.
Yeah, it's been a great start for Alex Dukas, a main cog in what the Gales have been able to accomplish this season. He has continued to impress at the offensive end of the floor. A red-hot start, 3 for 3, 8 points early, and the Gales are out in front.
St. Mary's on a little run here, leading BYU 10-7. Dave Fleming, Sean Farnham, great to have you with us tonight. I mean, we really do expect this to be a great game. These games between these two have been so competitive over the years. However, the challenge for BYU, St. Mary's is as hot as anybody in the country.
Well, and they do it very systematically in how they approach the game and how they're able to accomplish. We talk about this all the time. Can you defend and can you rebound? Well, this team does both, but rebounding has been as one of the best rebounding teams in the country. Now, they've given up a couple second chance points here, uncharacteristic. About 81% of their shots from their opponents, they go ahead and rebound. Experience, when you look at Logan Johnson, Kyle Bowen, Alex Dukas, the 3 of them live together. There's really like a family atmosphere that it permeates through the program and allows their young freshman, Aiden Mahaney, to do what he does best. That is score the basketball and be a star. He's one of the best freshmen in all of college basketball.
It's just a great blend of experience, of some young talent, maybe a little more refined offensively for the Gales this year. Their offensive numbers are up, especially
They're
lately.
They're shooting it from 3 a lot better.
BYU showing a little pressure here out of the timeout. Rudy Williams in off the bench for the Cougars. Dukas, I think he was thinking about it. Mahaney, the extra pass. Now on the baseline, Bowen fumbled it. Johnson, the 3. That one just didn't look great out of his hand, but a tap back from Mitchell Saxon. So the Gales reset. Well, they left him wide open. So Logan Johnson's going to take that shot, and he's looking right at the BYU bench like, seriously?
I think they said leave him open. And that's probably not the best call. I mean, now, Logan Johnson is a 25% three-point shooter, so statistically speaking, that is a good shot for BYU to give up, but you can't leave somebody open that wide open.
Yeah, he's somebody you have to guard. Traore, who's had a nice start offensively, going one-on-one against Saxon again. He is a good passer for a big man. Shot clock winding down. Johnson fumbled it away, and St. Mary's comes up with the ball. They will, however, say shot clock violation. Randy Bennett, who, I mean, we mentioned it off the top. He's had so many good teams. This is, I think, one of his best.
Well, and we asked him what makes this team special to you, and he says, listen, the talent level's really good, but the way that they compete every single game, he never has to coach effort. And when you don't have to coach effort, it allows you to really focus in on the details and the player development, and we've seen this team grow throughout the course of the season.
Saxon makes his move with the left hand, and he's got a big-time size advantage down low.
Yeah, you know, Traore has the strength advantage at this end, but the size and the length for Saxon at this end should pay off for St. Mary's.
Here's Rudy Williams, been a big-time scorer off the bench lately. Half-court offense against the Gales, it's tough.
Look at the way they just defend and they collapse to the ball. I mean, it's just incredible effort. They had a shot clock violation the last time. They force you all the way down to 5 seconds and then get a block on this possession. But it's the awareness of where they want to be on the floor and how they're able to tip it out.
By the way, at the end, I don't know if we roll it long enough, right after we cut away, the freshman Richie Saunders, he headbutted Alex Dukas, and Alex Dukas is in his face and not happy at all. And I don't blame him. He headbutted him. And they may look at that. It happened right after we were rolling the play. You were describing exactly what was going on. I mean, it wasn't like WWE.
Well, Royal Rumble was tonight. Cody Rhodes did win, so that means he goes to WrestleMania to main event.
Okay.
In case you were wondering
Good
there.
to know. Good to know.
But, I mean, you can't have that.
Yeah, and I could.
And by the way, Alex Dukas is in his face, and they're talking, they're jawing back and forth. Both of them have to have composure.
Yeah, I actually believe that the angle that we just showed, which might be our best angle camera-wise, different from you and I sitting right here, from where I sat, it was a little more demonstrative than what it looks like on that camera shot.
It was a different angle.
Yeah.
I mean, it's more of like a brush.
Yeah.
I mean, that's.
Yeah. I don't think.
Here's
they're
what
gonna,
I think you do.
Yeah.
I think you talk to both of them and say that's enough. Let's go. We're not doing anything there. But we can't have any more of it. Just move on and play.
I can understand why Dukas wasn't happy, but that's not a flagrant.
No, I mean, just talk it through and just figure it out. I think good job by this crew.
I don't think Alex Dukas is the guy you really want to tick off, though. Quick catch and shoot for Johnson, came up way short.
St. Mary's just kind of settling into the rhythm of this game, and as they so often do, they dictate the flow and the tempo of the game. Take you out of transition, force the pace to be slowed down. They're comfortable working in the last third of the shot clock every possession.
Yeah, I mean, you say so often. It's hard to remember when they don't dictate at least the tempo and style of a game. Mahaney, tough shot, no good, and the rebound out of bounds off of Bowen. Now, fourth-year head coach Mark Pope, who, I mean, this year has been a big-time challenge for him.
It has, and I asked him, I said, how are you doing? And he goes, man, I've learned to love the challenge and being under fire. And he said, under Coach Pitino, you asked about playing under Pitino, he said that was one of the things that he learned there. When everyone feels like the weight of the world's coming on you and they're asking questions, how do you embrace that challenge and step up? And that was the conversation with his team at shoot-around is, are they going to be shorthanded today? Yes. But are you willing to accept the challenges that are going to be presented by playing a team that's one of the better teams in the country?
Rudy Williams dumps it off to Christensen, a player you were talking about who's hardly played at all this year. And he bounced it almost into the backcourt. It's been almost 5 minutes since BYU scored. Johnson, tough three, short. And the long rebound out to George. Then Logan Johnson stole it away, but Rudy Williams got it back. Williams out of control, got his shot swatted.
Dave, how good is St. Mary's defensively?
Very, very good.
I mean, this is a clinic. When you watch a team compete every possession, they defend 30 seconds willingly every single possession. And if you have a seam on them, you think you've got a chance, you got shot blockers around the rim. It's a special group.
Mary's defense has taken over this game in the last 5 minutes or so. 15-7, that's the Gales lead. We talked about St. Mary's, one of the hottest teams in all of college basketball. They've been playing so well. Busy day across the country, wasn't it?
Yeah, Hofstra, the pride. Stephen Olin, one of the great producers we have back in Bristol, he's beaming with pride because they went down and they beat Charleston and they ended their 20-game win streak. Oklahoma, just ultra impressive. I know the guys in the studios are going to talk about the SEC Big 12 Challenge. We saw TCU's Mike Miles go down. We saw Missouri take care of business over Iowa State. Scores across the country. And leaving off this, by the way, Gonzaga's Julian Strother goes for 40 piece. 8 made 3-pointers tonight, making him the 4th player to ever score 40 under Mark Few. The others, Morrison, Turioff, Wilcher. And now add Strother to the list.
Yeah, it's a good group. Gonzaga avoided an upset, but 7 ranked teams go down today. I mean, it seems like every weekend we're talking about all the ranked teams getting upset.
Dave, the word for college basketball this year is inconsistency. We've seen some inconsistencies from teams across the country. What we don't see is inconsistencies from this St. Mary's team.
Yeah, and you said it, especially on the defensive end. Traore double teamed, tried to shovel it off to Gideon George, then got stripped, and the Gales come away with the ball.
They make every single shot difficult for you.
Mahaney on the bench, Augustus Marshallonis, who's been playing well lately in the game. He got fouled by Trey Stewart, who just came in for BYU.
If you like defense, you're going to love this. I mean, look, in the post, you swarm, you double, you don't foul, you have your hands up, you get the deflection, you stay with it, you get another deflection, your guards are coming back in, picking up the loose change. It just is all around team understanding of how they want to play every single possession.
Shot clock down to 10 for the Gales. Marshallonis trying to use that screen. Extra pass. Dukas is going to have to get a shot off. Didn't. So that'll be a rare turnover and shot clock violation that nobody was aware.
That's poor awareness out on the floor and empty possession.
And I think as well as Augustus Marshallonis has been playing, you're the point guard. You come in the game. He had the ball for a lot of that possession. You got to be a little more aware.
That's the risk, though, when you play at their pace sometimes and you do work late into the shot clock, is that you can get caught in that situation where it's running down and you don't have a good look still.
BYU trying to snap this scoring drought. It's going on for a while. 6 minutes almost now. Traore, nice spin move, and then Saxon poked it away.
How improved from year to year is Mitchell Saxon? When you talk about St. Mary's and why their net ranking is top 10 in the country, while their Associated Press ranking should continue to rise because they're late to the poll, a lot of it has to do with Mitchell Saxon.
Yeah, he dropped that ball. That was going to be a dunk, and Logan Johnson's going, please catch the ball next time.
Mitchell's up 24 minutes played per game. He's averaging almost 10 points more per game than he did a season ago. He's averaging 6 more rebounds than he did a year ago. And again, a lot of that was with opportunity, but the efficiency in which he's playing with the length is something that has added another component to this St. Mary's defense.
Gideon George being smothered by Kyle Bowen, and then he throws it away. The BYU just continues to come up empty on the offensive end. Under 10 minutes to go first half.
The turnovers were a big issue for this Cougars team last week as they traveled down to the Bay Area and they got swept.
Marshallonis left hand, tough runner, no good. Saxon fights for the rebound and he got fouled.
Well, this team for BYU doesn't have a lot of length. You're talking Cruz Traore is essentially a 6'6" big. Now, 240 pounds, he can still carve out some space, but when you got 6'11" going against him, 6'10", that is a challenge. It's part of the reason why the Gales rebound the ball so well.
Again, Marshallonis, this time it goes down.
And they'd like to see him score more, and Randy Bennett told us today that he feels like his best basketball is still ahead. He's a good player on a really good team right now. And his minutes next year, especially after Logan Johnson is done as a Gale, will increase in his opportunity to be the lead guard will be there. And you see growth already. Last 3 games, 15 assists, 0 turnovers for Marciulionis. That's your backup guard not turning it over and making sure everybody's getting involved still.
Yeah, Randy told us he can be an all-conference player next year. Saxon missed the layup. Man, St. Mary's, as well as they're playing, they've missed some opportunities. Hall steps into a 3, way off the mark. Traore brought the ball down, had it poked away.
3 seconds in the key evidently is no longer a rule in college basketball.
I mean, he has made a home in there. That's a long time in there.
It's been almost 7 minutes and 42 seconds, almost 8 minutes without a single point for BYU.
Mitchell Saxon's upset he missed that layup. He's given St. Mary's some good minutes at the start of this game. He'll get his first break. The freshman Harry Wessels comes in.
BYU, I look at on this floor right now, it's tough to find points. I put the ball in number 3's hands. Elevate Fus Traore and see if you can get Rudy Williams being guarded by the interior big of St. Mary's and let him attack downhill. Rudy Williams was a bright spot offensively from a scoring perspective last week when they were down in the Bay Area, scoring better than 20 in both games, shooting 73% inside the arc. The difficult thing against this defense, St. Mary's doesn't let you get into the paint.
BYU needs a point. And that's not one. ACC Big 12 Big Monday doubleheader. Number 7 Virginia. Man, they're playing well now. On the road against Syracuse, 7 Eastern on Monday. Baylor, Texas. That's a good one in the Big 12. 9 Eastern. Both games will stream on the app. Finally, the ball goes through the rim.
Well, you talk about Virginia. I mean, six straight wins for them. They've got that look back to like national championship good Virginia. Their offense a little bit more explosive. Their defense really good. And Baylor, don't look now. They just win games.
Almost 8 minutes since BYU had scored. They got the free throw, and then Marciulionis comes back with another nice finish. So that's a couple nice plays by him on the offensive end. A little screen and roll. Hall goes to the bucket and scores.
But see, that's where I think their guards could maybe have some success. I was suggesting it with Williams, but Hall did a great job reading that screen at the top of the key and looking to get downhill immediately.
Still a long way to go in this game, even though things have not gone well for BYU so far. Johnson's going to drive right through the defense. Saunders there, though, to swat it out of bounds. A little taste of their own medicine. Late night in Provo, Utah. Speaking of, Sean will give you some more late night leaders when we come back right after this. Here in the first half in Provo. I like it when you do this, Sean, to kind of refresh our late night leaders, players who are worth staying up late to watch.
How about A.J. Mitchell from Santa Barbara, 8-1 in conference play, the sophomore from Belgium. His coach told me poised, tough, great vision. He's averaging 16 per game. Boogie Ellis outscored UCLA by himself in the second half on Thursday. Finished with 31 points, 6 assists, 0 turnovers. Got to get a little Boogie in your life. How about Arizona? Azuolas Tubelis, another double-double for him today as they beat the Washington Huskies, but on the season averaging 20 points per game and almost 10 rebounds per contest. And here's one for you from Seattle. They took their first loss in the WAC earlier this week, but Cameron Tyson's had a great season, averaging 19 points per game, started his season with a 35-point performance against UCSD. Some guys to watch late at night, even on the East Coast.
There's lots of reasons to stay up late.
Besides just you and me.
Well, we're 2 reasons, but
and the cougar tail.
Yeah, you got another one here.
I got the cougar tail next to me. The lady next to me saw me eating it during the timeout, and she goes, "You can't come to BYU and Provo without getting some cougar tail." And I said, "You're right."
Mitchell Saxon back in the game, missed that shot. Rebound, BYU.
Those are the best donuts I've ever had in my life.
He's definitely one of the biggest. Saunders cutting to the basket. So tough against Kyle Bowen, who stripped it away.
The hands of the Gales. I mean, their timing. If you expose the ball away from your body, it's going to be slapped away.
Aiden Mahaney also back in. He's had a real quiet start to this game. Johnson down the lane, used a shot fake. Traore with some contact, no whistle. BYU rebound, letting him play a little bit. Johnson tipped that pass out of bounds.
That's a small play, but that's a winning play. One of the things BYU wants to do, they want to run, and they want to push it out in transition and find ways to score. So they're going to take some shots. They thought they had Stewart wide open, and Logan Johnson just tracked it down like a good defensive back and just deflected that one away, and now they force BYU to have to play in the half court.
Down low, they'll call a reach around. Saxon. That's his first personal. Well, BYU continues to be stubborn. They want Traore to have the ball down low. Hall down low. Traore, little shot fake with the left hand.
That's where they had some success early in the game. They're feeding Foose underneath. It allows him to get that shoulder and utilize his strength against Saxon.
St. Mary's offense, meanwhile, has been fairly quiet. Johnson in and out. And they'll call a foul against Mitchell Saxon.
Is that his third?
I think that's just his second.
That's just his second.
Second in short order, so he's going to come out of the game. And Wessels will come back in. Well, BYU has found a way to stabilize the game with their defense.
Well, their defense is top 30 in the country as well. I mean, it's not like BYU is not good at the defensive end. There's a little bit of a different BYU team than we've seen in recent years, where their offense has been so much more explosive, and it's been their defense.
And Hall again in attack mode with his second bucket of the first half.
Dave, sitting from back here, I think that's the way you have to attack St. Mary's, is you lift the big, and then you get downhill right away. But you've got to attack shoulder to shoulder coming off that screen. And Hall's done a good job.
Dukas has it poked away. BYU, maybe a rare chance for a fast break. Gales get back and get organized so well. Johnson down low. Traore, tough catch. Lost his balance, had it stolen away.
The guards and the way that they can pinch and swarm down low on the post. You bring the ball down against St. Mary's, it's getting stripped.
Johnson cut off. Hayden Mahaney hadn't had a shot attempt in a while. Here goes Johnson, offensive foul.
Gale's getting a little rattled.
A little bit.
A really good defense by BYU. A low-scoring affair. And a lot of it has to do with being in the right position and the willingness by Spencer Johnson to move his feet and maintain his legal guarding position.
Mark Pope called him, he's our best player, Spencer Johnson. Whether that's fair for him or not, to have to kind of be the star of this team. Hall again, right down the lane, he scores.
Well, Hall's the star right now at this end of the floor, and the lack of willingness to defend, exposing the freshman a little bit.
Yeah, he's beaten Mahaney twice in a row. 8-0 run for BYU. Mahaney just can't find any room. Give BYU credit on this end. Into traffic, no good. Rebound, Cougars have it.
This building can get electric. This building can start to overwhelm. Their student section is massive. And they're starting to feel that energy in this building right now.
4 minutes without a point for St. Mary's. And their big lead is down to 3. Hall ties it up. Just no breathing room for the shooters. Marciulionis for 3. Just a little room, and he knocks it down. Man, he's made 3 beautiful shots.
Well, they've needed it tonight. Mahaney not delivering early in this game. Marciulionis a little bit more experienced.
And he's 0 for 4, hasn't scored. And they are picking the heck out of him. He is getting drilled on this end. Johnson didn't lose the ball, missed the shot. Rebound Bowen.
Part of it is in the communication. You have to talk your way through screens.
I mean, I've seen Mahaney take 3 or 4 just shots where he's been screened. Dukas curls, misses.
If there's one thing Aidan Mahaney's going to have to improve, it is going to have to be his strength. He's not going to improve it here tonight, but it is going to be the next evolution of him and getting his body to that level.
He got through the screen but left Hall open. He missed the shot. Hall's got 9. And he did not have a great weekend last weekend, so it's good to see him play a little bit better. Under 3 to go first half. Marciulionis got fouled. The foul was called before that block attempt, and that'll send us to a timeout.
Well, Hall's been sensational in this game. The freshman guard, an elite level passer, but watch, you trail the screen, he's going to take you right down the lane, and he did that a couple of times. So Mahaney's like, you know what? I don't want to trail it. I'm going to go underneath it. You go underneath it. He gets his feet set, shoulders square, knocks it down. He's been huge in this run for the Cougars.
All right, back here in Provo. I think Dallin was sending you a little, and we lost him.
We lost him.
He dropped out.
We had it, and then we lost it, and we never got it back. Oh. I texted him and said, Dallin, what did you say?
Okay.
I always like to stay ready. I'm always wanting to be prepared. Dallin Cuff is my guy back in Bristol. Oh, he's talking about the Cougar tail? Oh. We can stay ready on that.
Yeah. Little did Dallin know that we have one right here. You take as many bites as you want. I'll handle this next little segment.
It said over under 2.5 that I've eaten. Dallin, you should know it's a 2-foot-long maple bar. You can't eat more than one Cougar tail.
Oh, Lord. No. Marciulionis flung one up there. More good defense from BYU. Trey Stewart out into the open. Stewart with some nifty ball handling. And he scores! How about that move?
Well, he needs to play well. They're shorthanded. They need guys stepping up, and all of a sudden there's a little bit of momentum. I think BYU has figured some things out offensively.
It's a 1-point lead for the Gales. It was 19-8 St. Mary's, and they were dominating the game. And really, it's changed on this end as much as anything, where St. Mary's is having a hard time getting good looks.
Yeah, those looks and attacks that we were seeing, that's going to be a turnover.
Yeah, that's over and back.
Can't turn it over like that.
There you and I are. If that thing's halfway done, that's a half of one.
It's so good, though.
In case Dallin is wondering what it looks like.
Every time. It never disappoints.
Yeah, now your press pass when you come here has a little message about it.
Yeah, no, it says Cougar Tail Ambassador. I'm very proud of that. It's one of my greatest accomplishments in life.
1:39 to go first half.
Besides working with you, of course.
Yeah. Your children, all their success.
Yeah. I can only take so much credit for that.
Dallin Hall, not Dallin Cuff. Dallin Hall has been a star for BYU.
Well, Dallin Cuff's a star too, which is not here in the building.
Out of bounds off of Marciulionis. 4 on the shot clock for the Cougars.
How much fun has this game been? I mean, look, people might be tuning in going, it's 22-21, but the intensity and the effort that we're seeing at the defensive end of the floor, it's been elite.
Yeah, quick timeout. We'll be back right after this for the final 123 of the half. Basketball matchup for you on Sunday afternoon. Olivia Miles, number 7 Notre Dame, going to Raleigh, taking on Diamond Johnson, number 20 NC State. Coverage from Reynolds Coliseum begins at 3 Eastern on ESPN and the app.
Well, you talk about Olivia Miles. How great has she been for Notre Dame? They've won 5 straight, all the way up to number 7 in the country, and she leads the team in scoring, rebounds, and assists.
Pretty good. Got to get a shot off. Gideon George goes baseline, and he did, and scored! Knew just how much time he had. BYU's got its first lead since it was 7-5. They looked like they were going to get blown out in this game. Logan Johnson cut off. Yale's offense has come crashing down. Marciulionis, 3 was blocked by Traore. Hall, baseline, reverse, good!
That's their defense leading to their offense. A great play by Fus Traore. And then sprint and run the lanes, and Randy Bennett's team needs a timeout.
Wow. 17-3 run.
Just the way that they've been aggressively attacking and trying to utilize some of their athleticism. George turns the corner, and just a nifty finish as the shot clock was going down. Great closeout. Get closed out with the left hand with the right-handed shooter. That's textbook closeout. And then get out and run the floor. And Dukas gave up baseline. He opened his hips, and the second you open your hips, Hall, the very talented freshman, drives that seam and does the reverse layup to finish. Do you remember a time in this game where it went 8 minutes without BYU even scoring a point?
Yeah, and it just looked like they were going to be suffocated out of their own building. Instead, the Gales in the last 6+ minutes have 3 points. They're having a hard time getting shots off. And BYU's got a 25-22 lead. This has not been an easy building for St. Mary's. They've lost 4 years in a row here. Last year they came here, and at the end of the game they had 43 points. That's it. Undefeated team in conference play. Gales all alone in first place, but struggling here in the first half.
BYU's going to have a possession here if they can get the defensive rebound.
Mitchell Saxon didn't want to shoot the jumper from the free throw line area, so now Johnson's got to hurry. 2. Marciulionis just gets rid of it, and he got fouled. Stewart ran into him. And I understand why BYU fans are unhappy, but Stewart closed out and ran right into him.
That was great defense. Right up until this moment here. You put 2 hands on him as you're coming down, and he knew it. I mean, he kind of did that grin and that smile going, I can't believe I just did that.
That's his 3rd foul. 3 free throws. The first free throw attempts of the game for St. Mary's.
And you know what that bodes well for? A team that's shorthanded without 3 players tonight. Haven't been a lot of fouls called.
Yeah.
And so for BYU, you're going to go to the second half, and your guys are going to play really free.
One more. Marciulionis has made his free throws. He's having a nice half. Made them all. So he's got 10 of the Gales' 25.
He's played really well. It's been him and Dukas. 18 of the 25 have come from the 2 of them.
Wow.
Mahaney has yet to score. He's 0 for 4. Logan Johnson is just 2 of 6. Kyle Bowen has only attempted 1 shot. A lot of really good positive defensive numbers here for BYU.
Mahaney, and he's fouling Hall. And Randy Bennett wanted a foul there.
Yeah. It's a smart play. he fouled him 3 times before it was called.
Correct.
I mean, you can't get mad at him. But the smart play was, and the reason for doing that is to shrink it now to a 1.6 second possession, which means that you're really going to get a catch, maybe one dribble, and then the shot has to go. You don't want anything going towards your bucket. If you can force them to catch the ball going towards half court, that's a win. There it is.
Stewart heaves one, no good. And fittingly, the two teams will go to the locker rooms with the score tied at 25.
Really fun and really well-played defense the first half by both teams. A large portion of that was St. Mary's early, but BYU responded. Now it's up to the counterpunch. St. Mary's is going to have to figure out how to keep BYU out of the paint and driving and attacking that seam.
All right, it's halftime here in Provo, 25-25. Zubin Ardalen, Coach Green, ready for our ESPN halftime report. It was a beautiful wintry day here in Provo today. Now nighttime, BYU at home against St. Mary's. Tie game as we get ready to start the second half. Dave Fleming, Sean Farnham, great to have you back with us. And Sean, look, I think BYU deserves a lot of credit. St. Mary's red hot, really good team. BYU's shorthanded, and the Cougars are playing them even.
Yeah, I think the game was really two halves within the first half. And the first half of the game was dominated by St. Mary's. Their defense was outstanding. The deflections, the steals. They had 4 steals in the first half. They had 4 blocked shots in the first half. They did a lot of really good positive things early in the contest where they swarmed and just made life difficult as the Cougars tried to play through Fus Traore, and they were able to create offense off of that. They looked like they had the game in control, and all of a sudden BYU upped their intensity at the defensive end of the floor, and then I thought Mark Pope did an outstanding job of playing NBA basketball. And what I mean by that is finding matchups that were in advantage for his team and not going away from them. Going back to them over and over and over again, and Dallin Hall was the biggest one in the first half. They saw him having success. He goes 5 of 8, 11 points. And his ability to turn the corner and try to isolate Aiden Mahaney and force him to guard him, that was a matchup that benefited BYU.
So here we go, 20 minutes left. St. Mary's perfect record in the WCC on the line. Trying to snap a 4-game losing streak in this building. Aiden Mahaney was so quiet in the first half. He's their leading scorer, the freshman, one of the most productive freshmen in the country. Mitchell Saxon got into some foul trouble. Mahaney, 3, good.
Well,
there's his first basket.
Big start and a much needed one for the talented freshman to see one finally fall through the rim.
That's pretty good defense again by BYU. Tough shot. Some of that stuff you were talking about, using the screens. Hall going by Mahaney. Kicked it out to Gideon George. He had it stripped away. And now the Gales, they don't run all that often.
They will take it, but good defensive transition that time and a smart move by Alex Tsoukas to bring it out.
Well, Mahaney went to the basket and missed the layup. Maybe rushed it. He was wide open.
It was a great horn set. They got exactly what they wanted. They just didn't finish.
Saunders missed the 3. Traore tried to rip the rebound away. Kyle Bowen had to go out of bounds off of him. That's good effort from Fus Traore.
There's always a great effort out of Fus. I mean, he is all effort. Number 45 in white, he knows every game he's going to be outmatched as far as size and length. But they hardly ever can outmatch him as far as effort and the way that he competes and utilizes his strengths to his advantage.
Hall feeds Traore, and with the left hand scores.
He's an angle scorer.
It's a good move.
He just got great footwork, on balance, continues to develop.
They throw it to Mahaney backdoor this time. Pinned underneath, and this time his layup goes down. Nothing easy for Aiden Mahaney.
But you can see a point of emphasis for Randy Bennett is get number 20 involved in this game. After a donut in the first half, and not the cougar tail I was eating, but not scoring, they need to get him involved.
Probably the worst stretch of offense St. Mary's has had in a long time in the middle of that first half. And I think without Mahaney, their offense is just different.
Well, and Mahaney can get it going, and he's had multiple halves this year where he's been able to score 15-plus points in a half.
Hard screen from Saxon. Logan Johnson now with a big man on him. St. Mary's really didn't take advantage of that. Shot clock down to 5. Saxon is going to go up and score with 1 on the clock.
Yeah, a rare points in the paint for St. Mary's. They were minus 10 at halftime in that category. Things have tightened up a little bit. They've scored 4 points early here in the paint. Mahaney on the last possession, and Saxon going to his left-hand hook.
Randy Bennett, 498 career wins, looking for 499. He knows. You see that look on his face. He knows it is not going to be easy to get that win tonight. 2 screens for Hall. Kind of picking his way down the lane. Mahaney stayed with him, forced a tough shot. Hall made it anyway.
He's going to be such a bright spot for this program. He already is, but moving forward, I think he could be like next in line to be the guy that really understands what Mark Pope wants, especially as they make the shift going into the Big 12.
Yeah, I think he's got a chance to be really good. Bowen, bad pass. That's a turnover. Gideon George.
Dangerous pass leaving your feet.
George 3, way short. Such a weird rebound. Dukas did well just to tap it over to Bowen. I mean, Dallin Hall, the player you're talking about, missed 2 years, didn't play basketball, was on his mission, came back and was thrown right into the mix. So you figure a full off season to get ready for this year, he has a chance to really be a great player. Mahaney, nice pass. Saxon missed the layup.
Well, he's missed a couple. I mean, uncharacteristically, as we heap some praise on him in the first half. That's at least his second layup that he's missed.
St. Mary's has missed maybe 4 layups in this game. Saxon's missed a couple. And then Traore beat Saxon down the floor after the missed layup and drew the foul. We had almost no fouls called in the first half.
Total of 5 free throws. I like that. Let's play. Let's let the teams get in their rhythm, and both teams are doing what they want to do, playing how they want to play.
Hall to Gideon George, elevates, in and out. Traore, another offensive rebound. Man, is he working hard down low. Now Bowen against Hall. Hall beat him, but missed it.
With the way that BYU's playing defense, I would not be surprised to see St. Mary's try to push it a little bit more and be a little bit more opportunistic in their fast break attempts.
Logan Johnson, he attacks. No whistle, tip up. Saxon had several chances. Couldn't finish. Ball goes out of bounds off of BYU. A lot of looks at the rim.
Got to finish them, though. They're not. And when you leave points and you leave possession, they're going to still have the ball here. An opportunity to score, but they're leaving the door open for BYU. And they left it open in the first half, and BYU's still standing there.
Hot game so far. 32-29. St. Mary's on the road trying to get a win against BYU. Full day of action across the West Coast Conference. Been a really good year in this league. Pacific, great win at Santa Clara. Pacific, the tough team. They are much improved. You talked about Julian Strother's performance for the Zags today.
Big time 40-point performance for him. Only 4th player under Mark Few to be able to accomplish that. San Francisco was starting to get some wins. They're starting to stack some wins together. LMU has been the team that I think might be as surprising as Pacific. Stan Johnson's team went up into Gonzaga, and it's something that nobody had done in the Drew Timme era in conference play, and that's win a game in Spokane.
Literally, I mean, it had been 75 games since Gonzaga lost a home game. LMU went up there and beat them. Gales right now the only undefeated team, but that's being tested here tonight. St. Mary's and Gonzaga 1 week from tonight in Moraga.
Oh, that's going to be a party, my friend.
Nice touch pass. Saxon to Dukas.
They both ran to Saxon. Saxon with a very unselfish play. Could have tried to go through the contact. Instead saw his teammate wide open And those are the little things that can win games. Coaches talk about it all the time. I'm sure Coach Crean in the studio. You execute an out of bounds underneath, and that's stealing points.
Bowen almost stole that one away. Kyle Bowen and Alex Dukas have played every minute of this game for St. Mary's. George had a shot blocked by Bowen, and then the tip ball over to Mahaney.
Kyle Bowen, one of the best defensive players in the country. I mean, not on the National Player, the Defensive Player of the Year list, but probably should be.
Oh, I think he should be.
I don't know if he'd win it, but he certainly should be in the conversation.
Saxon with the left hand. That was a strong move. So St. Mary's, a couple possessions in a row, productive, up by 7.
And they're scoring in the paint, Dave. They got 8 points in the first half of the paint. I think they've got 8 points now here in the second half in the paint.
Yeah, and you kind of were making that point. Mahaney's going to come away with a loose ball, and Johnson fouls him on the way up. Mahaney will shoot 2 free throws. If BYU's going to commit to just cutting off the three-point line at all costs, you got to find a way to beat them a little differently.
And first free throw attempts here in the second half, and shooting free throws in this direction becomes a little more challenging. I think teams on the season are shooting about 62% going towards the student section here.
It's a little different.
One of the best student sections in the country, and they've got rock, paper, and scissors. The students are rock, and you got paper and scissors as the car dealership blow up things.
Mahaney, no problem. He saw that plenty at Camp Alindo High.
They did against De La Salle, and I don't want to talk about that. The Spartans, by the way, big game tonight against Harvard Westlake down in Southern California. Probably over. I don't know the score, though.
Somebody will text you.
Yeah.
Hey,
look at that.
Yeah, it's legit. The numbers back it up. Visiting teams struggle in the second half shooting free throws. Mahaney made only 1 of 2.
I see lists of like top 10 student sections in the country. It amazes me the Rock's not on there.
Well, I think they're the biggest. I mean, we've never done an actual count, but it's just massive. To the bucket and a layup. Good. Trayden Christensen.
That's his first made bucket of the season.
Wow, congratulations. BYU playing short-handed.
And that was a confident move, and that was one of the moves actually that Mark Pope told me he's comfortable with doing, ripping at the free throw line area out in the wing and feeling like he can attack off the bounce.
Dukas might have rushed that one just a little bit, missed the 3. So BYU ball. Hall down the lane. Hall scores again.
Well, Saxon's got to extend out a little bit and help out his guard. He's not helping him out at all, and he's just dropping in his coverage. There's a certain point where you can't drop because you're back behind the basket. And Saxon was that deep on that last drive.
We got 13 minutes to go. Dallin Hall's got his new career high tonight already. Great pass. Saxon contact, no whistle. That's another chance near the rim. That wouldn't go down as like a blown wide open layup, but that's you think it bucket? No. Gales have had a lot of those. Catch and shoot, Saunders 3. With big time size advantage here. They're trying to guard Saxon with Christensen. Saxon just very deliberately getting closer, stayed with it, and finally got the basket.
I mean, they're letting a lot of contact, a lot of pushing underneath their go, but they're being consistent at both ends of the floor.
Yeah, I mean, once you establish that, if you keep it consistent, I don't think anybody's got a problem with it. Rudy Williams, he still has not scored in this game. He's been the big scorer lately for BYU. Christensen, well, kind of lost his way there.
Trying to do a little bit too much. You know, right there, you're better served just trying to go up a little jump hook. When you haven't played a lot and you've only played 11 minutes on the season, now you're being asked to be on the floor against a nationally ranked opponent and have to make plays for your team. That's asking a lot. The biggest thing I would tell them is just do what you do. Just stay in your role, understand who you are. That's, I'm sure, what Mark Pope is going to be talking about at this timeout.
Championship at the Australian Open down in Melbourne later tonight, early tomorrow morning, depending on your perspective. 3:30 a.m. Eastern, 12:30 a.m. Pacific on ESPN to ESPN+. I hope it's worth staying up for. The tennis has been awesome. Djokovic, a chance for Australian Open Championship number 10.
Wow.
If he wins tonight, he can match Rafael Nadal, most men's major championships in history.
I mean, it's been a great event. And it's always kind of like the start of the tennis season in my eyes. Like you talk about the majors, that's what people dial in. It's like a lot like golf. Max Homa won today down at Torrey Pines.
Great win. Congratulations, Max. He's probably watching us tonight.
I'm sure he is.
St. Mary's inbounds the ball. Dukas right over top. Hall then missed the shot. It goes out of bounds, and it'll be BYU basketball. Some weird ones near the rim for the Gales tonight.
Well, you know it's going to be physical, and you got to try to match it. And right now, underneath, you anticipate that there's going to be contact, and you got to get. It starts with your base. How strong is your base to absorb the contact and get to your shooting motion?
Wow, Hall from way outside. It's a three. Lead back down to 3. What a game he's having.
Big games, big shots. We've seen that in this building before, time and time again.
Dukas got Hall to leave his feet. Great cut and a good pass from Bowen.
Second time they've run that play. They ran it once in the first half. They got that same look. They go right back to it and get Dukas on a zipper cut coming off the screen.
No Mitchell Saxon on the floor right now. St. Mary's has been way better with him out there in this game tonight. Harry Wessels, young freshman guarding Rudy Williams. Williams created some space and gets his first bucket.
Now they got the switch, and Logan Johnson tried to switch back, but Rudy Williams is just too deep at that point.
And if you're Mitchell Saxon, you got to rest quickly because he's coming right back in.
Wessel has struggled tonight. He's had some good games, but this is one where he's getting hurt a little bit on the defensive end of the floor.
Yeah, both the freshmen really have. Mahaney hits the jumper beautifully from the elbow area. It's not been easy for him, but the second half he's been more like himself.
Yeah, he's got 8 points, all of them coming so far here in the second half. How much fun is this, Dave?
A really fun game.
I mean, you and I have done a ton of games in this building. We may not be back in this building again.
I'm going to miss it.
But it's a great environment, and it's been so much fun having this team, this program, be in the West Coast Conference.
Offensive foul, illegal screen. Christensen called for the foul. BYU, of course, if you don't know what we're talking about, is leaving the West Coast Conference next year and will be a part of the Big 12. So it's not impossible that we could come back here, but you know, these games, Gonzaga coming here, St. Mary's coming here. We've been here for so many of them over this decade plus. And almost every single one of those games on this floor has been a great basketball game.
And it's loud, and it's a huge environment. The Rock, the student section, is outstanding. Just fun.
Saxon back in. Marshallonis, who had a nice first half, he's in as well.
I can't wait for Fran Fraschilla to be here on like a Super Tuesday with Kansas's first trip here, or Baylor's first trip, and it's going to be crazy.
He's going to be, you know, are you kidding me? Look at these students. Listen to this place.
It's going to be fun. And look, change is hard. Change is difficult. This BYU made the change to come from the Mountain West Conference into the WCC, and a lot of people thought they were going to win championships and they're going to be able to knock Gonzaga off its perch, and that hasn't happened in 10 years.
It has not happened. Dukas, now Saxon, is he called for the push-off? Yes. So Saxon gets called for his third personal foul, that's a big deal because of how much better. I mean, look at that plus-minus. We got a 5-point game. Mitchell Saxon's personal plus-minus, plus 16.
It's a good number. Wessels, not that good.
No, they've suffered with. I mean, look, it's not
all on one player, and that's the one thing about plus minus. But defensively, it has created some issues for them in the way that they match up and they want to defend, in particular on screens.
Traore sets the screen for Spencer Johnson, and there's Saxon playing good defense against Johnson. Traore touch pass, George 3, good. Beautiful pass for the big man.
Fus Traore is just working so hard tonight, making all the little plays, as well as scoring the ball. But just the effort and awareness, his basketball IQ on full display.
Marciulionis, offensive foul. They call him for the push-off.
Randy Bennett not happy with that one at all, but watch the assist here. You got the size, you see the pinch in from Bowen. You know you're going to get at least double teamed and just kick it onto the outside.
Close call, tough call. 2-point game, BYU hanging around. Hall, Traore. Saxon altered the shot. Traore followed his own miss, but Saxon got it back, and then Traore knocked it out of bounds. Both those big men are playing so hard. They showed the replay up on the big video board where the BYU fans were convinced that should be Cougars ball. Logan Johnson, nice move. A lot of contact. He'll shoot free throws.
Randy Bennett all over this officiating crew right now, wanting them to start blowing the whistle on that contact.
On the line for the Gales, number 0, Logan Johnson. He'll be shooting 2.
It has been minimal fouls called in this game, but it has been both ways.
Yeah, and that does not mean it's been a finesse game.
No.
Logan Johnson made them both. Another hard screen. We've seen so many of those. Trey Stewart short on the three.
And Trey Stewart's given us some good minutes of the night. I mean, again, his minutes have had to increase because of how short-handed BYU is with the 3 players that were suspended for tonight's game for a violation of team rules.
Next game, they should be back out there for BYU, but the Cougars are definitely short-handed in this one. Mitchell Saxon, man, maybe the right idea, but threw it 3 rows back into the stands. St. Mary's red-hot team, they got their hands full. 45-41, 7:41 to go. Basketball when we come here to Utah, but we also love just the scenery, getting out in nature. You and I last night went up into the mountains, went to Park City, Sundance Film Festival going on.
The A-listers were out in town around Park City last night.
Big time. We sort of upped the quotient there.
There's some good photos here. I had a great time.
Modeled some new sort of Western gear.
I wanted to be like full Dumb and Dumber with you. And like each of us have the opportunity to put on one of those outfits and like the big cowboy hat and all that stuff. But we would have had to actually buy this stuff instead of just trying it on.
It's hard to do. It's an expensive joke in Park City. If you got to buy all the gear.
Yeah, I was like, I'm okay. But Slow was the movie that was airing last night at the Egyptian Theater.
Yeah. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Great time.
Okay.
Great time.
Yeah. I mean, it really is like you go up into the mountains and it's this beautiful ski town and the snow is falling and the lights are on.
It was gorgeous. I mean, we left down here about like 5 o'clock and we drove our way up. I did have a question for the gentleman that was standing in the middle of the creek on the right-hand side of the freeway going towards Park City as it's snowing and he's fishing.
Yeah,
like,
that's some dedication to your craft.
That's crazy. That's not dedication. That's just plain crazy. It's snowing and you're standing in the middle of a winter creek.
Third foul on Marciulionis. 7:32 to go. 45-41.
A lot of people said I should have bought the jacket though.
Yeah, including me. Hall draws a foul. Marciulionis, so they're going to call him for number 4. It looked good on you. Yeah, that's his 4th.
That's not a good look on him, though. 4 fouls on him. All of a sudden now it shortens things up for Randy Bennett.
Meanwhile, Dallin Hall, BYU's only attempted 2 free throws. St. Mary's usually defends without fouling. That's a strength for them. John Hall's got a career high 18 already.
The efficiency within those numbers has been off the charts as well. Of course, he misses the free throw. But 8 of 12 shooting from the floor. He's been outstanding.
Made 1 of 2. So the lead for the 22nd ranked St. Mary's Gales is just 3. Their leading scorer, Aiden Mahaney, back on the floor. Dukas down low to Saxon. Here's Johnson's 3. Good!
Yeah, 25% three-point shooter, and twice he has come up well beyond the arc.
You said it, he's been playing maybe the best basketball of his whole career, and he's had a really good career. Randy Bennett said something interesting to us. Yeah, he had the shoulder surgery of the offseason. He thought it took November, December for Logan Johnson to feel himself. Here's Mahaney. Bounce pass. Saxon. Had his shot blocked by Traore.
Just no lift whatsoever by Saxon that time.
Could be a little fatigued. I mean, this has been a hard played game. Hall, great pass. Traore. No. Out of bounds off of St. Mary's.
Well, the problem when you go against a guy like Fus Traore at either side of the floor, and you're Mitchell Saxon, he is laying on you the whole game. I mean, he just wears on you. It's like a great offensive lineman, you know, that just wears down the defensive line over the course of the game because he's just putting his body weight on you. And you're fighting through screens if you're guards, and if you're big, you're having to try to out-muscle him every single time a shot goes up.
Yeah, I think it's a good point. I mean, Saxon's played 25 minutes in this game, but that does not tell the story. Now the whistles are coming. We had no whistles for a long time.
I mean, Aiden Mahaney is going to be bruised tomorrow based on fighting through all of those screens that he's had to try to fight through. And all of them legal except for one. I mean, but it's just every single time. It's just aware of that throughout the course of the game. And Mark Pope going back to it over and over and over again has really benefited his team.
Hall, no, on the first free throw. ACC, SEC Super Tuesday doubleheader. 7 Eastern, you got Duke and Wake Forest and Cameron Indoor. And Kentucky and Ole Miss. That's the next game. Both games on ESPN Plus. On ESPN Plus. What a matchup on ESPN Plus. Top 10. Kansas State goes to Fog Allen after they beat the Jayhawks in Manhattan.
Get the plus. If you don't have the plus, get the plus.
Got to get it for that game.
That's going to be an outstanding game. Kansas coming off their win over Kentucky. Kansas State got the win today. Keontae Johnson, the best story in college basketball, his return to the court.
Saxon, tough move. He scores with a foul. Traore was not in the game, and they went to Saxon with the much smaller Gideon George. He committed the foul, a chance for a three-point play.
Well, with Fus on the bench right now, Coach Pope can't keep him there very long. Because if I'm St. Mary's, I'm going to the paint every single possession because the size advantage, just run right to the rim, throw it to him. They're going to foul him. They're going to foul him.
10 points, 9 rebounds for Mitchell Saxon. That one's good. Completes the three-point play. So free throw shooting may be a factor here down the stretch. Hall wants the ball again. They've got Logan Johnson on him now. Christensen lost it out of bounds off of the Gales, though. How long can Fus Traore sit down on that bench?
You'd like to probably get him all the way to the under 4 media timeout. But I believe a timeout's been called here by St. Mary's. And if that's the case, you would start thinking right now, if you're Coach Pope, can we get Fus back into the game? Has it been enough of a timeout for him?
We'll find out right after this. 143, St. Mary's with the lead over BYU. 5:44 to go. This Gales program 7-0 in conference play. up to number 22 in the AP poll, up to number 6 in the net rankings in the country. And look, we say this all the time, but it goes underappreciated what Randy Bennett's done with this program.
I mean, every year it seems like they have to fight to remind people the success that they've had. I mean, look at the programs that are on that list. Look at the coaches that lead those programs on this list. I mean, Randy Bennett's one of the best we have in the country.
What they beat Indiana by in the NCAA tournament last year? 40?
Yeah. I had someone tell me that I was nuts when I picked St. Mary's to upset them.
George, 3, too strong. Dukas taps it back, and it'll go into the backcourt, so BYU keeps it. Offensive rebounding for the Cougars has been a factor. Hall, another tough shot.
How great has he been tonight? When you're shorthanded, you need players to step up, and Dallin Hall has done more than just step up.
He's got 22. His career high had been 14 before tonight. Logan Johnson, tough shot. Saxon rebound. Traore's still not out there. Mahaney maybe a little more reluctant than usual to shoot.
Well, Mitchell Saxon needs to shoot the ball. He's standing right in front of the rim, and you're 6'10".
Yeah.
You're being guarded by somebody that's 6'5".
Saxon now puts it on the floor. He thinks he's 6'5". Reach-in foul.
Foul is on number 5, Gideon George.
The story, though, is Dallin Hall. I mean, just this play, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. I mean, to me, this is like very similar back in the day when Rob Sacre was playing for Gonzaga, and he had Matthew Dellavedova for St. Mary's, and they just would lift and go into ball screens, lift and go into ball screens. So BYU has done since about the midway portion of the first half, and they've had a ton of success attacking.
Traore back in. Saxon sets the screen. Shot clock down to 5. Down to 3. Mahaney. Dukas, did he get it off? They say no. Shot clock violation.
Well, Aiden Mahaney's got to shoot that ball right away.
Yeah.
I mean, that's twice that the guards of St. Mary's have not looked up at the clock and realized, hey, the ball's in my hands. I might even have to force one up right here.
Oh, good stop for BYU, down 6. That's the 11th Gales turnover. BYU winning the turnover battle in this game. Not what you might have expected.
That's a good job for them, though, especially coming off of last weekend.
So now it's Johnson who got Hall to pick up his dribble. Traore, spin move. Saxon, good defense. He scores anyway.
Just overpowering. I mean, that's the weight room right there.
Dukas, 3, no. Rebound, BYU. I think the crowd wanted Spencer Johnson to take the 3. Traore, a whistle, no basket, a foul before the shot. With 3:42 to go. BYU's got the ball. They're only down 4. They are giving Randy Bennett and his St. Mary's Gales fits tonight.
We talk about great freshmen. Aiden Mahaney's had put up some big numbers all season long, but if you're watching this game from start to finish, there's a freshman that's standing out above all of them right now, and that's Dallin Hall. And you look at this game and you go, okay, how's BYU in this contest? They're shorthanded. 3 of their top 7 not even playing. It's because number 30 said, put the ball in my hands, coach. And he's playing with the confidence and the swagger of so many of the other great guards that we've seen in the last decade plus put on that uniform. And tonight he's carrying that. He
was Utah State Player of the Year his senior year in high school, then went on his 2-year mission. Not overseas, he went to Fresno for his mission. Came back, thrown right back into the mix, having to play big minutes right away and having a career night tonight. Gideon George at the line, makes the first to earn the second. BYU now in the bonus for the last 3:42. Made them both. And some pressure from the Cougars. St. Mary's gets it up the court. Saxon bounces it to Bowen, who has his shot rejected. St. Mary's had 2-on-1 and couldn't get a bucket out of it. What a play.
A bucket here and this place is going to explode.
BYU desperate for a big win. Hall, Johnson, three, good! Johnson gets it to go. Gales back up by 1.
That's your senior leader right there. Place is on edge. They're all up on their feet. Can you sit them back down by aggressively attacking, going off of 2 and finishing? Logan Johnson did.
There's the screen for Hall again. He thought about shooting that 3. Instead, down the lane. Traore had it knocked away. Gets it back. Johnson wide open. Another one! Spencer Johnson had only scored 3 points all game until those last 2 threes.
Beautiful feed here. Drive, you pinch in. Logan Johnson turns his shoulders, has to look back, and then this time Aiden Mahaney goes to try to get this ball. When he lunges, reaches out of position, it allows Spencer Johnson to be wide open once again. And short-term memory. Matt Painter says this: shoot the good shot. If you have a good shot, take the good shot. If you miss 4 good shots, keep taking the good shot. Spencer Johnson has been taking good shots, and he's knocked down the last 2.
A 12-2 run for BYU. St. Mary's has led for 32 minutes of this game. But now they're down 2.
The pressure extended once again, and really St. Mary's struggled to break the press and then failed to convert with the number situation that they had.
Johnson once again. Tough shot goes off the glass. Wow.
One of the amazing things about this game is we wonder why BYU's in it. Well, good defense, but they have rebounded really well. They are beating St. Mary's on the glass, and St. Mary's is one of the best rebounding teams in the country.
Here goes Hall. Down the lane, lost it. The loose ball, and Saxon grabs it away. Well, now a minute and a half to go. Game still tied, and St. Mary's has it back. Johnson, that was a tough pass. Hall got in there, and they'll say jump ball. BYU, what an effort on the defensive end from Hall.
That's an overpass, though. I mean, you can't throw it in that tight of a window, and you show and watch Hall, though. Just reach back and get his hands on it, and then it's vice grip time. Just hold on to it all the way to the floor.
And Dallin Hall may be a freshman. He's not built like one. He is a physically strong dude.
Dave, how much fun is this?
Great game. Always is when these two teams play here. Spencer Johnson. That ball poked away, but it went off of him out of bounds.
Well, you see what Mark Pope did, by the way. So the adjustment Randy Bennett made was putting Logan Johnson on Dallin Hall. So then he put Spencer Johnson in the screen so that Aiden Mahaney was guarding him.
Under a minute to go. Mahaney's got the big man on him. Mahaney, 3, too strong. Rebound, Gideon George. About a 5-second difference. Game clock, shot clock, roughly. And BYU's going to call timeout. I know 55-55 doesn't sound pretty. I mean, it has been a super entertaining game.
Yeah, I mean, just a lot of guys stepping up and making big plays tonight. And it's been fun. And when you play St. Mary's, the game is going to be lower scoring. It's not going to be a high-scoring affair. They try to force you to make you feel uncomfortable, but Coach Pope's team has been the one making St. Mary's feel uncomfortable tonight as well.
So Gales have 2 timeouts. BYU does have a timeout left. That feels important. 23 seconds. We saw BYU struggle to get a last-second shot off. Different scenario here. When we were here a couple weeks ago and they played the Zags. Tie game. It's got to be some version of the same kind of action that's worked all night, doesn't it?
Yeah, I would assume so. And I think that the question becomes, will St. Mary's try to throw something different and really hard hedge and try to trap that ball on the on-ball screen and then pinch in from the weak side to take away the roller, or do they continue to go to their drop coverage? The drop coverage hasn't been that successful. But I think you're going to wait as long as you possibly can here if you're BYU. You do not want to give the Gales additional time on this clock.
Yeah, you can't
whether you score or you miss.
Correct. You can't guarantee you get the final shot, but you can almost guarantee that St. Mary's isn't going to get a very good shot.
Yes.
A tough night for one of the great freshmen in college basketball, Aiden Mahaney. Hard place to play. He's matched up with Spencer Johnson at the moment. BYU will get the ball inbounds to Hall.
I like the decision to put it in Hall's hands right here. He's been the guy all night long.
Down the lane, Hall flips it up, whistle and a foul. So he'll go to the free throw line. That was the 4th against Mitchell Saxon.
And just a good aggressive move by Dallin Hall down the lane. And this place will get really quiet.
No good. So he's got to make this one. Randy Bennett first, though, is going to use one of his 2 remaining timeouts and let the freshman, who's just 2 of 5 from the line. Everything else he's done tonight has been so impressive. But he's going to let the freshman think about this next one.
Randy will have his play designed as well. My anticipation on his final play, Logan Johnson's going to have his hands on the ball. I think you got to take Aiden Mahaney off the ball here. He has been playing a little bit timid. It's been bothering him tonight. Logan Johnson's had the most success when he's gotten into the paint. And I'd look for Logan Johnson to drive and look for Dukas to spot up on the wing area or Bowen into the corner.
How about that look?
Center yourself.
BYU has a tradition. Every shoot-around, day of game, their players go to the free throw lines, and Mark Pope has the entire gym. Everybody, players, coaches, trainers, TV personnel, silent, no sound.
Do you know how hard that is for me not to talk for 5 minutes?
It's hard for you.
But, you know, he does it to create a little bit of a calming presence at the free throw line and to be able to center yourself. And right now, this freshman is going to have to come out of this timeout, try to give his team the lead, a 1-point lead with 10 seconds left to go.
And St. Mary's still has that extra timeout, so Randy Bennett could have set something up based on what happens here, and they do have another timeout to use if they need it. So here we go. Tie game, 10 seconds. One more free throw to go for a guy who's having a career night. Dallin Hall. Got it. All right, here comes Mahaney. Aiden Mahaney going toward the basket. Tough shot. Good! He hit it to put St. Mary's ahead. 0.3 seconds left. Oh my goodness. They had the heartbreaker here with Julian Strother from 30 feet away. And now Aiden Mahaney, a degree of difficulty shot, 10 out of 10, somehow got it to go.
Unbelievable. Creates the space, was more aggressive than he had been the entire game. And how about the confidence of his coach to say, Aiden Mahaney, go make some plays. What makes you a special freshman is weathering the storms, the highs and lows of a game, and being able to overcome. And a huge bucket by Aiden Mahaney.
I mean, the BYU fans are thinking, how could we have more heartbreak?
They had the game won against Gonzaga on this floor. A turnover, hit three in the corner. Julian Strother, three-pointer, 9.8 seconds left to go. Didn't get off a good look in this direction.
What a shot. They looked at the clock, and I think they determined that we had it right. Maybe they told Mark Pope you got 0.4, not 0.3 seconds. So they haven't updated that yet. What can you do in 0.4 seconds?
I mean, this 0.3, it's catch and go, tip and go. They're putting 0.4 up on the clock, and Randy's going crazy because he's like, you're giving Mark Pope extra time.
Yeah,
You want to stay, but listen, here's a simple thing defensively. No foul, stay between your man and the basket. You do not have time to take a dribble. It is catch and go right away if you're BYU. What you've got to try to do is just wall up, hands straight up. You got to stand like that the entire time.
Can BYU come up with a miracle shot of their own? They played so hard tonight. Short-handed, missing 3 of their top 7 players.
They're going to try to get Dallin Hall going towards the basket, I think, coming off of a screen. You got one extra man because you're not defending the ball here.
Hall heaves it up. No good. And St. Mary's stays undefeated in West Coast Conference play with an incredible shot from their freshman Aiden Mahaney to steal one in Provo.
Well, the night that we talked about, Dallin Hall and his performance, he's gonna be upset that he missed one of the 2 free throws. That's what he's gonna remember. But he played so well. It is the freshman that has consistently won the Freshman of the Week. 7 times he's taken home Freshman of the Week honors. He didn't have his best game tonight by any stretch of the imagination. But boy, those final 2 points, they don't get much bigger than that, partner. Win a game on the road. 7,000 students screaming at you. 0.3, let's ice it and get out of town.
He's going to remember that shot for as long as he plays basketball and longer than that. What a game. St. Mary's 57, BYU 56 for Sean Farnham. Dave Fleming saying so long. Time to send you out to the San Diego for the Geico High School Basketball Showcase.